What's up everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Ready Player One. Today we're going to be talking about a game that I was super excited to get at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Now when I showed up to John Hancock's booth, surprise, they had ran out. That game is Cowlitz Gamers' second adventure for the NES. The last 3 years that we've gone to PRGE, we've made it a point to go visit John Hancock at his booth and try and buy one of his games. In 2015 and 2016, these are the two games that we purchased from him. Code Eliminator and Game Panic 2. Last year, we actually bought an extra copy and brought it back for Joel up in Albuquerque from the channel Media Glitch, since we know that he is a Sega Genesis fan. This year what we wanted to buy from him was the new Homebrew game that we had heard about called Cowlitz Gamers' Second Adventure. Now unfortunately when we got to John's booth, he had already sold out. It was only the middle of the day of the first day of the show and he was all out of the games. What happened was the previous 2 years we had visited him at the end of the show and he had always had plenty of copies. So we weren't too worried about now finding a copy, but when we went during lunch of the first day, and just to talk to him and then see how much his game was and if we were going to pick one up, he told us that he had ran out. So what we did was we signed up for an email newsletter or an email notification, and whenever there was more copies available, he let us know. And this was a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and the game came promptly 3 days after I paid him. Before we get to talking about the actual game though, I've already shown you the box, but I wanted to show you what comes inside of the box. A personal progress chart. On the front of the personal progress chart, it has a place where you can write your name. And so the way this works, the progress chart is on the back. If I do decide to use this or do this, I'm gonna make a photocopy of it. I really don't want to write on this. That's the collector inside of me, you know. So what you do is you write your name, and there's a little photo icon on here and on some of the screens during the actual gameplay. And what you do is to show your high score, you put this card in front of the screen, and that's how you submit your high score onto their website. And last, but definitely not least, is this sweet poster that doubles as the manual as well. And on the back here you have all of the character names, or I guess enemies, that you face throughout all of the levels. So I did mention John, of course, he was the one who published the game, but I would like to give out the shout out to the people who develop it. And it's a game by Tukas Kur, MT Graphics, Roby, and Chip Jockey. My surprise in the end wasn't that I got this game, especially after they didn't have any at PRGE. My surprise for the game was how good it was. So, you know, usually you make fun of whenever you buy a new game and you're testing it out, and sometimes you spend up to, I don't know, we do anyways, 2 to 3 hours testing it out, and sometimes you end up in the middle of the game. Well, whenever I did that with this game, I popped it in and I thought to myself, well, I'll play it a little bit and then see what I'm getting myself into, then do a long play so I can do a review on it. Well, lo and behold, it was a great game. And so it's a platformer. It's a tower ascending platformer. So you actually begin down underground and you ascend through levels. Eventually you make it to the surface, and then you've got a tower to climb. And I think I beat the game in about 50 minutes, if I remember correctly. I played it on the easy difficulty just because I was trying to get a feel for it, and I didn't realize that I was actually going to beat it. But the difficulties are easy, normal, I can't remember the second difficulty level, and then you got ace, and the differences are the continues, whether you get any continues, and the amount of lives that you get. So on easy it was 5 lives and you got unlimited continues, and I got about, I think it was either 5 or 6 continues that I got while playing this game. But it took a lot of focus to play, and I mean I really got into it. It kind of reminds me, so the platforming, the jumping, the all of the precise pixel perfect jumps and stuff just really kind of reminded me of say a Mega Man jump, you know, more towards Mega Man 2, 3, 4, and 5, where they had that down pretty well. And the other aspect of it, you know, collecting the gold and unveiling a new vine to climb up and get up into the next screen kind of reminded me a lot of one of my other favorite games of all time, and that's Lode Runner. In Lode Runner, you're hunting for gold while escaping enemies, and as soon as you pick up all the pieces of gold or piles of gold, a new ladder pops up on top and you climb up to the next level. That's really what it reminded me of. The graphics are beautiful, the music is great. I really love that in the credits section of the game, in the title menu, you can go to the credits, and where you can see what everybody worked on in the game, you can actually go and pick each track to listen to it, and every single track that is on this game is just, it's amazing. It truly is. It really blew me away when I started playing it, and I really love that there's going to be a lot of replay factor in this. I could totally see myself wanting to beat my best scores, and seeing how fast I can beat it. I mean, this is a game that I'm going to definitely go back to. The only thing that I'm disappointed in right now is that my brother hasn't been here and we can't play it together, because it is 2-player, so you can play each level with 2 players, which I haven't tried yet, but it looks fun. I mean, if it's fun with just 1 player, I can only imagine what it's like playing with 2, and it works the same. You just collect the gold pieces, a new vine is revealed, and you can climb up. As far as the actual difficulty that goes with like the gathering of the pieces and getting past enemies, I would say that it's some areas, you know, there it's like it seems impossible, but fairly, you know, for the most part, it's actually not that bad. I would say as far as difficulty goes, at least on easy, where you know you have a lot of lives and you can risk losing a life and whatnot, I would say maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10 as far as difficulty goes. It was just really enjoyable overall. If you can get your hands on this game, I would really recommend it. Unfortunately, I don't know at the moment how it is that you can get that game, other than trying to contact John through YouTube or going onto, I know that he's posted on forums such as Atari Age and Nintendo Age. I think Atari Age was the first place that I saw where he had 40 available, and at the time they were using donor cards. They ran out of PRGE. They made another batch. I don't know if they're going to do that again or not, but if you were interested in getting this game, that's probably the best way to do it, to try and contact him through YouTube or one of the forums if you can find him. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Ready Player One. I was pleasantly surprised with this game. Sometimes it's a hit or miss with homebrews and hacks and things like that, and I was just really happy. I'm happy that we spent the money on this. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. Later.